Alright guys, welcome back to Brand. We appreciate everyone who has shown us support. We're about to do a Mandela effect video. We're going to react to it. Go in the comments and give us more ideas so we can do what y'all want us to do.
Are you all ready?
Yeah.
Alright.
Have you ever had a memory of something so strong that you swear it to be true? What happens when hundreds or even thousands of other people share the same memory, only to discover that it never actually happened? Here are the 10 freakiest examples of the Mandela effect. Number 10 is Nelson Mandela. The Mandela effect is named after Nelson Mandela, a revolutionary South African politician who was born on July 18, 1918 in the village of Mavizo in the Cape Province. Known for his non-violent protests, Mandela was arrested on August 5, 1962 and served over 27 years in prison for conspiring to overthrow the state. Released in 1990, he became the first president of South Africa, electively serving only one term before stepping down to focus on fighting HIV/AIDS and poverty in 1994. That fight continued until he passed away on December 5th, 2013. But is that what you remember? If you're like many people, you may recall stories of Mandela dying while still in prison in the 1980s, while others believe that the year of his death was 1991. But if that were the case, how could he have become president? This is merely one example of how alternate universes may have collided or even merged with our own. Number 8 is Uncle Pennybags. If I were to ask you to describe the wealthy property-owning Monopoly guy, better known as Rich Uncle Pennybags from the Hasbro and Parker Brothers game Monopoly, what would you say? You might say he's old, or he wears a tuxedo. However, if your description—
Okay, so, do you think he has glasses? Look at that.
Bro, I'm telling you, he used to have one.
Bro,
Alright, so
he had that.
I promise you had about
He had a eye thingy. Right.
Yeah.
Alright, well let's keep watching.
that's why we have Monopoly, right?
Oh god.
it includes a monocle on one eye, you may be living in an alternate reality. That's because despite what many will claim is a change to his appearance, Uncle Pennybags never wore a monocle. Though it was released back in 1903, Monopoly didn't get their mascot until the chance and community chess cards were added with his image in 1936. He was designed by artist Dan Fox, who modeled him after J.P. Morgan, an American financier and banker, who wore spectacles, but alas, no monocle. As you think of him yourself right now, you likely picture him with a monocle. So how can it be that you and literally millions of others are wrong? Number 7 is a curious tale. When it comes to kids' books about troublemaking monkeys, few are anywhere near as popular as the one and only Curious George. Created by Hans Augusto Rey and Margaret Rey, George was first introduced in 1939 in the French children's book Cecily G. and the 9 Monkeys. It wasn't until 1941 that he got his own book, appropriately titled Curious George. 6 more books were published about the mischievous monkey and are a staple in children's literature. But if you were to ask someone to describe Curious George, all too often they would add a body part to the little guy that simply doesn't exist. A tail. That's right, despite what your mind could be telling you, Curious George absolutely does not have a tail and never has. Not in any of his books or even in the first book he ever appeared in. George has been referred to as a—
If he didn't have a tail, he looked like a human.
But I've always remembered like he had a tail.
Yeah.
Even in the books, he used to have a tail.
For real.
Well, that's what I think, anyways. I'm not.
I promise you, if he didn't have a tail, then I wouldn't think he would be a monkey.
chimp, which don't have a tail anyway, but that hasn't stopped people from swearing that they've seen him with one. Think back into your own memory. Does Curious George have a tail or not? Is I Am Your Father. close your eyes and take yourself back to Cloud City in Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, where Luke Skywalker just lost his hand to the evil Sith leader Darth Vader. As he holds where his hand was, the young Jedi in training listens as the Dark Lord bellows, "Luke, I am your father." Now open your eyes and hear that, in fact, he actually never said that. This line is synonymous with Star Wars and is one of the biggest movie twists of all time, but the dialogue simply doesn't play out that way. The biggest fans of the franchise, or simply those who watch it again, will reveal to you that Vader actually responds to Luke's cries that Darth Vader killed his father by saying, "No, I am your father." Hundreds of films and TV shows have misquoted that epic reveal for decades since the Empire's release on May 17, 1980. But many people believe that the line has been changed along with reality itself. The question is, how do you remember the line? Number 4 is Jiffy.
Alright, so one of them said, "I am your father."
Like Luke, it says, "Luke, I am your father."
The other one
And
said,
then the real one says, "No, I am
I
your
am your
father."
father.
I always
Luke.
remembered Luke.
yeah, honestly, I did too.
Anytime I like seen that part of the movie, I've always remembered Luke. But when like I found out about like that, I looked it up and it actually like was wrong. And it was the only time when I looked it up though. That's when it
Maybe
was
that's
wrong.
when it changed.
Huh?
Well, maybe that was the Mandela effect at the time when it changed.
Yeah.
I feel like we should like start looking stuff up now.
Yeah.
Like, just in case something changed. Like
Yeah.
in like a few years something might change, and then we'd be like, what?
You know how crazy that would be?
Yeah,
That'd be sick.
that would be like
Sick? What do you mean sick?
that'd be weird.
That wouldn't be sick at all. That
Cause
You know how
like
many things could change? Like,
Yeah.
and we wouldn't know.
our world could like change.
People could just be tweaking with us.
Like, you could have done something in the past that you never know you did. Anyways.
This is just
Many people remember going back to when they were a child having peanut butter and jelly, using Jiffy peanut butter. However, that
Okay, comment below if you think you ever had the peanut butter Jiffy, Jiffy, or if it's just been JIF the whole time.
product never existed. That's right, for all of you who truly thought Jiffy was a real thing, it's either a figment of your collective imaginations or it's only on shelves in another universe. While Jiffy isn't and never has been a real product, Jif peanut butter was and still is today. Many people remember when Jif was first marketed that it was called Jiffy, and that's what led to the mistaken name in so many minds. However, when Jif was founded in 1958 in Lexington, Kentucky by Procter & Gamble, it was called just that, Jif. According to J.M. Smucker, the company that currently
Y'all gonna throw out the comment down below because this got me tripped. Like I could swore that it always said Jiffy. Like
I know.
Jif don't even look right.
Jif looks stupid.
I know. It looked like they tried to fit it in.
Okay. Well, another thing that's throwing me off is the green. Do you remember the green?
Yeah, I remember the
I
green.
remember the green.
I feel like I
remember
know.
the colors.
I remember the green, but it always said Jiffy. Hey,
Yeah,
I thought the
definitely
lid was
remember
yellow
Jif.
though. I did think the lid was
Nah,
yellow.
the lid's always been red. Hey, if you're watching this right now, pause the video. Go in your cabinet. If you got some peanut butter, read what it say. If it say Jif, tell us.
If it says
if it say
Jiffy, if it say Jiffy, oh my gosh.
If it says Jiffy,
Bro,
yeah.
you better send me a picture of that.
For real, because I promise you, somebody might have a peanut butter that says Jiffy. Like
or like a picture of it.
yeah,
I mean,
Dude, that's
like somebody taking a family picture and they got the peanut butter in the back and it might say Jiffy.
it's like right there.
Alright, let's see.
owns the brand, the name Jif was chosen due to it being easy to say, spell, and remember, and it's the only name the peanut butter has ever gone by. 2 is the magic mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all? It's one of the most famous lines ever uttered by a movie villain, and it never happened. Premiering at the Carthay Circle Theater on December 21st, 1937, Walt Disney's first animated
I swear on everything there's been
phrases like that.
So many people I said that. Like,
Okay, do you know do y'all watch Disney? It's like called Descendants.
Yeah.
Didn't she say that?
Yeah.
I swear she said. Wait, unless it's just her, and she was tweaking, and
it's a new version though. It could have been changed.
Yeah, that's right.
Animated feature Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was a masterpiece out of the gate, drawing a standing ovation from even the harshest critics who initially said Disney wouldn't complete such a huge undertaking. As many people remember, in the film, when the evil queen looks into the mirror, she says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall." Except that she doesn't. What she actually says is "magic mirror on the wall." A potential reason for this is in the original Brother Grimm story, she does say "mirror, mirror," but that hasn't stopped a huge number of people from claiming that they remember her saying it in the movie. And number one is the Berenstain Bears. That's right, I said Berenstain, not Berenstein. Remember that family of 4 bears that taught you right from wrong and how to deal with bullies and parties when you were barely old enough to read? You know, Mama, Papa, Brother, and Sister Bear? You likely remember them as the Berenstain Bears, right? Wrong. Though a great number of you will disagree wholeheartedly with this, they have always been called the Berenstain Bears. Dubbed by editor Theodore Geisel, also known as Dr. Seuss, the family is named after their creators, Stan and Jan Berenstain. The book series began hitting shelves in 1962, with the first installment, The Big Honey Hunt. Stan and Jan Berenstain continued to write stories about the bear family right up until their deaths. Today, the series continues with their son Michael Berenstain as their author, without a change in how the family's last name is spelled. That's right, the name that you remember vividly from your childhood never existed. But that's all for today's episode.
That's crazy.
Bro,
I could have swore it
I know.
was Berenstain.
Don't you remember like saying it weirdly,
Yeah,
like
second grade, watching it
Berenstain?
all the time, like Berenstain.
Berenstain. It's never been Berenstain.
And
It's never.
like what I've always said, I said Steen because I've always seen the E.
Because I've never been
Instead of the
corrected
A.
either when I said Steen.
Yeah, no one's ever corrected me. Cause I've always seen the E, not the A. Bro, that is.
I'm tripping now. Definitely tripping.
We need to watch more.
Alright guys, if y'all want us to do more of this stuff, comment down below video ideas so we know what to do next.
If you got any other stuff that was in this video that was like before all this ever happened, and it's like Jiffy or it's Berenstain or whatever, or Mirror Mirror on the Wall,
Like y'all got
send
proof.
it to us, because it's got me thinking. You can't just be.
Yeah, I think we got like different dimensions coming in and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all might think we crazy, but y'all can watch some of these videos and stuff. Got me tweaking.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. If you haven't seen the previous video, we'll link it down in the description.
Thank you guys for watching.
Also, the original video of what we just reacted to will be in the description, so go check that out too.
Yeah. Good night.
Thanks for watching.
You not putting that.
Peace.
Yeah, don't.